Here today with Lance Watson, Director of Growth at MPI Unlimited. They help you maximize your retirement income with their services. And Lance is actually an Android user.
Longtime Android user. I know.
Longtime Android user, still hanging out with Sendblue, though.
Exactly.
Why are we here hanging out with Sendblue?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool story as why we are hanging out here, because the founder has always been an Android user and never on the team iPhone. And it wasn't until he got recently introduced to the iPhone, iMessage, what do you guys call it, ecosystem that the iPhone has, or Apple has created. And the individuals that he's working with completely refuse to work with anybody who sends a green bubble. And so he literally had to go out and even got me my own iPhone for business use, and he had to get one himself. But throughout the recent months, experiencing blue bubbles and green bubble messages when it comes in green and with group messages and stuff, he was just like, this actually is a problem. And I don't want any of our clients to experience this as well. And wouldn't it be cool if we could also create a authentic response from our business that we just don't have yet, because everything that we send that comes out from any sort of automation or CRM system sends green. So that's ultimately what we were trying to achieve with Sendblue.
How long has MPI been running off of the green bubble? How long has that been the norm?
Oh, since we started like 5 years ago, 6 years.
What is the team most excited about? Maybe even specifically the sales team with the blue bubble.
Yeah, super, super interesting question, because we actually have not rolled this out with the sales team yet. We've rolled it out with our client account managers, who are supposed to have a special connection relationship with their clients. And so that's ultimately what this first phase, this first round of Sendblue is. And then once we get that established, then we're going to roll it out to the sales team. And we have an entire plan on how to do that as well. But right now, again, the authenticity piece that you get from having a blue bubble response or blue bubble message that you send to somebody, knowing that it's an actual iPhone user on the other end, that's what we're hoping to create with our client customer relationship.
What keeps you on an Android then?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Because I don't care. I just like Android.
The operating system's better. It's better.
Yeah.
I like the App Store way more.
I live in a house divided too, because my wife's an iPhone user. She's all the Apple ecosystem, MacBook Pro, and all that stuff as well.
What else would I like to ask you here? Workflows you're doing before and workflows you're looking to do with Sendblue. How are they maybe going to change now that you have the blue bubble sitting behind them?
The type of messaging that we send now is very intentional to sound more authentic. Again, this is a real person who's sending the message. So just have to be more creative, and even just tell our client account managers, like, hey, don't sound like a robot when you send this. You can like sound like a real person when you're sending these messages. And so like that part of workflows is probably the most important thing, just to, again, make it feel like a real person's talking to you on the other end. The other big thing that we were trying to accomplish with Sendblue that has been really nice is being able to bypass A2P, because A2P is a gigantic pain. And we've had multiple experiences where we try to switch over and we start new accounts, and there has to be new numbers and it has to go through the verification process. And that can take, sometimes upwards of a month or longer just to complete that. And then every message that comes out SMS, there's a required unsubscribe section that has to be sent on that first text message, which, no matter even if it is a real person who's sending the message, it still comes through as this is not a meta message. So that I think is one of the biggest wins that we get with Sendblue.
Yeah, you can't get the respect. That's what I would find. Like, I love CRM, close CRM specifically is what we use. And even if I was just so consistent with following up and following through, anyone could look at it and go,
Yeah,
probably just a workflow that guy.
probably workflow. Because that first message ruins everything. It ruins the entire experience when you have that unsubscribe that's required on there.
Totally puts a bad taste in your mouth. All right, someone's still watching right now. They're like, MPI Unlimited. I've heard of them before. They've got some cool investment strategies.
Yeah.
How can people get in touch with you, and who do you serve?
Yeah, the easiest way to get in touch with us is go to compoundinterest.com. Don't ask me how our founder was able to get that URL, but it's pretty amazing. So compoundinterest.com, that's where we have our whole plethora thing. He's got 1.5 million subscribers on TikTok, pretty prominent in that space. But his name is Curtis Ray. You can look him up as well if you're looking to follow the individual behind the strategy itself. But yeah, we help people maximize their income to achieve true financial freedom in retirement. So that's ultimately what we do in our foundational core.
I'm looking to retire. If you're looking to retire,
Yeah, it's
hit up
everybody.
Lance. Hit up Lance. Lance, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Sam. Been a good experience.
Thanks.